Hi everyone, my name is Isabelle. I'm an independent consultant with Pampered Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to use a beautiful deluxe cooking blender from Pampered Chef using a soup recipe today. So this recipe is in the Deluxe Cookbook Blender Cooking Guide, which is given to you whenever you purchase the blender. It's the butternut squash soup with pumpkin seed granola. So I thought that was really good. Fall is unfortunately coming pretty soon, so I just wanted to try that out and see or show you how the soup function works on the Deluxe blender. So we're going to start with prepping all of our ingredients. I've already peeled the butternut squash as well as the carrots. What you'll need for this soup is 2.5 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon ground ginger, 3 cups of butternut squash, peeled, cut into chunks, 2 medium carrots, 1/2 of a medium onion. I think I might just go with the whole onion though, because it's pretty small. 2 garlic cloves, and it also calls for 1/4 cup of dried apples. Okay, so I'm going to start by cutting up my butternut squash on my flexible Pampered Chef mat. It's the Prep It Up, okay? And I'm just going to use the Santoku knife from Pampered Chef, which is great. It's got a really nice weight to it. You can tell that it's really, it's made out of really quality materials. And it also comes with a guard so that you can easily store it in your, it's the word that I'm looking for, in your drawer, kitchen drawers, without cutting yourself. Okay, so we're gonna use this knife today. I'm just going to cut the end off. And I'm going to start with 1/2 of the butternut squash here. Here we go. Oops. I'm just cutting that up, and I'm going to put that into, oops, where did my measuring cup? Sorry, I'm gonna put that into my Easy Read measuring cup. It's just freshly washed. I just did another recipe for bread. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in here until I reach the 4-cup mark. I should be using a bigger or larger knife, but I just thought I'd show you this knife from Pampered Chef today. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it here so that there's a flat surface. And you can just see how well it just slices through that. Okay. And it's really nice because it has little ridges on the side here, which makes it very easy for starchy foods like your butternut squash or potatoes to let go of the blade, if that makes any sense. See how I'm cutting it? And okay, that stuck, but normally it wouldn't stick. Okay, so I've got about 3 cups, so I'm just gonna cut a little bit more off. Okay, I think after this we'll have enough. Okay, and the other 1/2 of my butternut squash I'm just going to keep to maybe make a butternut squash puree or something for dinner tomorrow. Okay, so that's almost all cubed. Just gonna cut that one a little bit more. Okay, so we've got our 4 cups of butternut squash here. What else will we need? Our onion. So because the blender is gonna do a lot of the work for you. You just want to cut, or just like roughly cut your vegetables, or dice them or chop them. Okay, so just using my silicone prep bowl to just put my garbage in here so it's easy, but this really measures stuff easily. It's flexible, so you can easily pour batter and whatnot. And it also comes with a lid, which again, just like the mixing, whoops, just like the classic batter bowl, you can easily store that away. So I just wanted to show you that. This comes as a set, all of the silicone prep bowls. So you've got a medium-sized bowl, and there's a small bowl. I'm just gonna, oh, so this is a medium, sorry, and this is a small. So the medium is 2 cups, and the small cup is a cup, okay? So for now, I'm just using it as a waste basket or cup bowl, just so it simplifies things. So I'm just removing the peel off of my onion, okay? And then I'm just gonna roughly chop that like that. There's a little bit more skin left here. Okay, so that's roughly chopped. I'm gonna take my 2 medium carrots. I've already peeled them, so I just have to take the ends off. You see how easy that knife just kind of gets through the root vegetables. So I'm just going to, sorry, I just realized that you guys can't really see much. Just run my knife through that. I'm just gonna cut my carrot in half. And just runs through your veggies like butter. Okay, perfect. So we've got our onions roughly chopped, our carrots roughly chopped, as well as the butternut squash, 4 cups, 2 carrots, and the recipe calls for half of an onion, but I put the entire onion in. I like onions, so why not? Okay, and it, everything else that it calls for, we can just throw it all in there easily. Okay, so let's go back to the cooking blender. Okay, I'm just gonna move this out of the way so you can see it properly. So there's a switch here. If I turn it over, see that switch? Turn that on. Oops. Okay, and then that comes on. Let me just show you. Okay, so you've got your blender turned on. Let me just put you back down. And we're just going to twist the lid open. And it's just kind of like the quick cooker. It makes noise whenever it unlocks. And you can take it off. So we're gonna put in the soup ingredients. So all of our vegetables. So our carrots, I'm actually just gonna use my mat to just easily bring that over to the blender. And we're gonna put our butternut squash in here. Okay, just like that. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I think I might have listed that earlier, but what I'm gonna do is put honey. I prefer to kind of cut sugar out if I can and replace it with honey. So I'm gonna use my adjustable measuring spoons. So we need 2 tablespoons. I've got it on the 1 tablespoon setting there. And a trick that I use is I just use some cooking oil and I spray my spoon lightly with the cooking oil, and then I pour the oil in here so it easily, see how it just slid out there? Okay, so 1 and 2 tablespoons. Just easily slides off. If you have a little bit that's sticking, I'm just gonna use our skinny scraper. This is the original size. It's heat resistant, which I love. So you can use it on this, like while you're cooking stuff on the stove, use it on hot foods. Okay. What else? So we've got some salt. Okay, I'm gonna use the salt and pepper set from Pampered Chef, which is beautiful. So see how it's easily, you can easily just carry it over. You can bring it from your counter to your dinner table quite easily. And it really grinds up really nice and easily. So it calls for, yeah, a teaspoon of salt. I like to go with a little less salt and just readjust after once it's cooked. So some salt, then we've got some cinnamon. So it's a 1/4 teaspoon. So I'm gonna use my smaller adjustable measuring spoon. So 1/4 teaspoon. That's my quick cooker. I'm just proofing some bread. So it's ready, it's proofed. Okay. So just to make sure, it's a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And again, you can readjust this once the soup is cooked. You can, if you want some more cinnamon in there, you can definitely add more. It's also a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. This soup just pretty much screams fall for me. It's just like so comforting. It smells great. All the spices. Okay, so we've got the brown, okay, so honey, salt, cinnamon, ground ginger, butternut squash, carrots, onions. Oh, 2 garlic cloves. So I'm just gonna go with 2 big garlic cloves. Mine are already peeled. I just bought a pack from the grocery store that was already peeled, so it's just easy. But I'm gonna use the Pampered Chef garlic press, which I love. This has always been a staple in my parents' house when I grew up. So you just put your garlic in here. You can also put unpeeled garlic. Normally that's what I do, but I got lazy and I bought some unpeeled garlic. So you just easily press it down like that. I'm just gonna use a knife. You can use a knife, or there's a tool lodged right in here, so you can easily store it away in the handle. So you can take that out and then you can scrape it off. I don't know if you can see that properly. And I'm gonna put in the other garlic clove. Now you can put the garlic in here whole, obviously. I just wanted to show you guys how the garlic press worked, okay? And then I'm just gonna take what is left in here because I don't like to waste anything. And I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, and then like I said, you can easily just store that in there. Okay, beautiful garlic press. It's really good quality. It'll last you for years. My mom has the older version. It's very similar. It just, you can't put the spoon in here. It's somewhere else on the garlic press, but she's had it for, I think, 20 years or so, for as long as I can remember. Okay, so now I'm gonna add in, it says dried apple diced, but I have, these are just dehydrated apples that I buy from Costco. So let me just use this. This is the, oops, sorry. It's the Measure All cup, and I'm just trying to find this is a 1/4 cup for dry foods. I'm just gonna put it on here so I have kind of like an eyeball. And it's not all diced up, so I'm just putting a little bit more, taking into consideration that it's not shredded. Okay. Perfect, so we've got everything in here. We're just missing the, it says to put water, but when I make soups, I like to, sorry, I'm just walking around looking for my broth. I used to like, I like to use, you know, either chicken broth or vegetable broth or whatnot. I had chicken broth on hand, so this will be good in the soup. So I'm just gonna grab Let's just grab this here. So I'm gonna use the Measure All measuring cup, but the liquid side where I can pour it in. So it's 2.5 cups. I'm just going to shake my broth up a little bit. Okay, so 2.5 cups. This holds 2 cups. So I'm just gonna go with 2 cups. And then I'll add another 1/2 cup liquid. Make sure that you're using the liquid side for the measuring. The other, you can't really mix it up because this one is pointed a different direction and this one is pointed upwards for your liquids, but just in case, just so you're aware. So 2.5 cups of liquid, and I'm just gonna put in a dash of pepper because I like pepper in my soup. It's not in the recipe, but oh my goodness. It's not in the recipe, but I'm just adding it because I can. So now it says to to put the lid on. So notice how you just push down like that. Let me just bring that there. And then you'll twist it and it'll, see? So it's locked into place. I've dropped some stuff on here, so I'm just gonna clean that. Then you're gonna select the soup setting. So by turning your dial right here, let's see if I can, there. Let's bring you in a little closer. Sorry, I have to be my own camera lady too. We're gonna select soup setting, okay? Then you're gonna press on here, which is the power or start button. And then you're just gonna let it do its own thing. And I'm just gonna kind of clean up while it goes, and you can just watch the setting. You'll see here, let me just show you up here. You see here, that number on top, I think it's maybe reversed for you guys. But it's marked as 68, so that's the temperature, or the Deluxe cooking blender coming up to temperature. Like I said, it cooks your soup within the blender, so it's gonna heat up pretty hot. It's gonna get very hot. So whenever it's done, this glass jar can be very, very hot. So just be careful, don't touch it. And yeah, I'm just gonna let it go and I'm gonna stop talking now. Hey guys, so I just have to do the portion, or the granola portion, for the butternut squash soup. You might hear the Deluxe cooking blender in the background just because the soup is cooking just now. Okay, so the instructions actually state to make the granola on your stove in a pan, but I'd like to showcase how you can, use your air fryer for other things as well. So this is a Deluxe air fryer from Pampered Chef. So let's go. So I'm gonna make the granola. So it calls for 1/2 cup of rolled oats. So I'm just gonna pour that in my measure all cup here. So you can see here I've got 1/2 cup going in here. What else? I need the ground ginger again, so I need 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm going to use the small adjustable measuring spoon. Okay, it's going in there. What else? 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Just going to rinse that off quickly. So yeah, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in here, roughly. Okay. What else? A tablespoon of honey. Okay. So I have my tablespoon of honey and my large adjustable measuring spoon. That's going in there. I totally forgot oops, sorry, I'm pouring everywhere. Forgot to spray it with some oil here. So I'm just gonna scoop it out with my skinny scraper. It calls for a tablespoon of brown sugar, but I'm just gonna add actually another tablespoon of honey instead. There we go. Okay. A 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. So see how I can reuse my measure-all, and I'm just gonna push it up to a 1/4 cup. I'm putting in pumpkin seeds. Maybe a little bit more. So there we go. We've got our 1/4 cup going in. And some dried apples. So that's another 1/4 cup. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. I'm using these dehydrated apples that I get from Costco, and I'm just going to crush them in my hands a little bit here. Okay. Perfect. So I've got the dried apples, pumpkin seeds. I replaced a tablespoon of brown sugar with honey. So we've got 2 tablespoons of honey, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/2 cup of rolled oats, and then we're missing a tablespoon of oil. It calls for canola oil, but I like to use avocado oil. So I'm just gonna put in, whoops, a tablespoon of that in here. Also, because I want to, I'm just gonna put in a salt, a pinch of salt in there, and then I'm gonna mix that into my bowl. See how easy it is to just hold it from the base to mix that up. So you wanna make sure that everything is properly coated, or well coated, and thoroughly mixed. Okay, it's really easy to just clean off the sides. So that's what it looks like. Whoops. Okay, like that. So now I'm just gonna open my air fryer up really quick. And so it comes with 2 racks. I'm gonna remove one of them. Put it here. This is the small bar pan. I use it in my air fryer so that I can get, I can bake stuff in there. So I'm just gonna place that here. And I'm going to pour my granola on there. I'm just going to spread it evenly. I hope I'm not blocking you guys too much. Okay. Didn't give myself much space to work with here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna spread that evenly on my stoneware, which I love. It just gives you a really good even cook, I guess, or it cooks your food very evenly. Okay, so we've got it there. See, and I'm going to pop that into the that's my oven that's ready for the bread because I'm making all 3 recipes all at the same time. But okay, so I'm putting that on the bottom rack just because I don't want it at the bottom or else it might burn because there's a lot of sugar in there. The other feature that I just wanted to show you that's really nice from the air fryer is that, oops, drop that in here. So a really nice feature is that you can remove the door like that. So you can easily clean it, put it in your sink, And you can put it back very easily as well. So you just push it like that and put it up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, because I'm basically baking this, I'm just gonna turn the view a little bit. Because I'm baking it, it's plugged in, so it's just gonna flash. So you're just gonna turn your dial. I'm gonna select bake. I'm just gonna wait for the blender to stop. Okay, so bake. I'm gonna press once, and I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna select 6 minutes, and it's at 350. Okay, so now I'm gonna just press start again, and it started. There's also a light, so you can press on here, and you can look inside your air fryer. All right, so it's gonna just cook, and then I'll come back with the completed soup. All right, so the air fryer went off halfway, so it beeped when there was 3 minutes left. And then I moved I shook the granola around. And then I put it on the top rack just so it could get a little bit of browning. So it's gonna be very hot whenever you take it out. But I've got my little spatula, my nylon spatula, which I love. And it's done. So now we just have to wait for the soup to finish up. It has another 10 minutes to go, so I'm just gonna let that settle, and then we're gonna finish up the soup. Okay, so our soup is done. The blender beeped to let us know that it's complete. So now you'll want to carefully take the top off, and you can just see how hot that is with the steam coming out, so you'll want to be careful. So we're gonna take the Pampered Chef can opener. So how this works, let me just point that down a little bit, remove that, is that you're just gonna place the can opener on top, and it kind of, it's kind of magnetic, so it'll kind of just stay there, and then you'll start turning. You don't even have to clip it or anything. And now it's stuck on there. And then start cutting it until you feel or hear a click. See, so I just felt it go. And then you're gonna go the opposite direction, and it'll come off. And then you've got these two, I don't know, clips or whatever. So you're gonna press down with your thumb here, and it's gonna pinch. So you're gonna grab that, pinch it on your can, it comes right off. And you can see here that I can run my finger around it, and I won't cut myself, and I won't cut myself on here either. So it's really cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix that up. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup of heavy cream, but whoops, making a mess here. But I like to put 1/2 cup coconut milk. It just adds a different kind of flavor. Okay, I'm just gonna press cancel on here so it can stop beeping at me. Okay, so that's stirred. I'm just gonna put in 1/2 cup of coconut milk into my measure all cup in the liquid side. And I'm just going to pour that through the top. And I'm going to put, whoops, clumsy today. I'm just gonna put that back in, twist it, and then we're just going to use the pulse setting just to combine that quickly. Nice because you can see how long you've been pulsing for. And then I'm just going to open up the lid. It's really, really hot at this stage, so be careful. I'm gonna take the my coconut milk spoon. I'm just gonna check for seasoning. Whoops. Good. I'm gonna put in a little bit more think ground cinnamon and ginger, because I like it really cinnamony. But you can just change the seasoning for what you prefer to. So and a little bit more cinnamon, a little bit more ground ginger. And I'm gonna put a little bit more salt and pepper because I like to, like I said, I like to re-season after I'm done my soup. A little bit more salt. I'm gonna put the lid back on. And just going to pulse it. Okay, cancel, open it up again. Oops, I'm making a mess. So don't do what I just did. And I'm gonna take my ladle here. I'm going to just put that in my bowl of soup. Or in my bowl. Like that. Well, that's good. I'm gonna use a different, or I'm gonna rinse my spoon off. I'm going to put a little bit more coconut cream on top. And then I'm going to top it with my really nice crunchy granola that we made in our air fryer. Like that. And there you have it. Whoops. Really good butternut squash and coconut cream soup with granola.